So that's it. No more NXT on the USA Network. This was the final episode before the big move to the CW. With CM Punk there tonight talking about being special guest referee, NXT would look back on its history. They was not adverse to showing AEW former NXT talent, which is very rare for WWE, but awesome to see them actually acknowledge the stars that made NXT. Obviously, they focused a lot on the more modern day superstars. You kind of expect them to do that and put them over. And of course, those big names that have taken the journey through NXT, but a lot of defining moments as well. I thought that was a really nice touch for them to do, because they are defining moments in people's careers, accomplishments that set them on the stage for their career. And I mean, this was my favourite moment in NXT history. The wedding of Index. Oh my God. Memories, man. Pure memories. I really wasn't a fan of like the bootleg press conference they did tonight. I just didn't enjoy it. I think that, honestly, they could have done more with this. Yes, okay, it delivered the promos, but we could have probably done that in the ring. We could have done that through usual storytelling means. This just felt a little bit flat. Flip the switch, though. I really did think the build for Wesley versus Zachary Wentz was perfect. Bringing up Gigi Dolan, bringing up their real life situations, ending it with a brawl. It's so much better than that bootleg press conference, isn't it? And with Ethan Page and Trick Williams both being given the assurance tonight by CM Punk that he's going to call it straight down the middle next week on NXT, the question still has to be asked. Will this be where Drew McIntyre makes his presence known? Obviously, days before Bad Blood. This is things you might have missed for NXT. Make sure you've hit the like button. And if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button too. So the main event segment tonight was the press conference in ring with Roxanne and Julia. Obviously Funaki there to translate for Julia, and Byron Saxton was wearing shoes to work. So win all round, isn't it? They did put subtitles up, but only when Funaki was translating. A little bit weird that. But the news from this is Stephanie Vaquer. Her first appearance for NXT came in the main event segment tonight. The measuring stick completely changes as we hype up Roxanne and Julia, and then we introduce Stephanie, and Stephanie putting them both on notice. She's coming to NXT. She wants that NXT Women's Championship. My God, what an ending to NXT on USA. Wendy Chu and Rosemary continue to team tonight on NXT, and Rosemary got the pin. Rosemary definitely deserves that, let's not lie. I think NXT may have seen my video last week when I literally ranted about the fact Rosemary had not scored a pinfall on NXT TV at all. They even acknowledged how good the duo would be on their next PLE NXT Halloween Havoc on the 27th of October. Story from this match though, Karmen Petrovic leaving the ring apron, leaving Brindley Reese alone because she was distracted by Ashante. Now, maybe she's got the hots for Ashante the Adonis, I don't know. But it was great to see Wendy and Rosemary picking up the win tonight. Much needed. And I think this is something that Rosemary definitely needed for sure. Earlier on, when we saw Ashante backstage, we'd actually see Tatum Paxley. Now, here's the question. Who is the blonde doll? Because we know these dolls represent NXT female talent. Who is the blonde doll? Because that's probably the next victim of Tatum Paxley. By the way, Tatum, you need a new pair of scissors. Those look very blunt. They didn't cut the hair. Just saying, okay? Kalani Jordan defended the Women's North American Championship at the start of NXT tonight. The first match of the night, obviously, against Ren Sinclair. Very good match. I thought this match highlighted both women well. It would be Kalani Jordan picking up the win, once again showing off her athleticism, her will and desire to win a match. But I think the story here is No Quarter Catch Crew. It was Charlie Dempsey last week who basically told Ren Sinclair, you know, she's part of No Quarter Catch Crew. Stand up, you got to do something. And I feel like this is what led to this match. And obviously Ren Sinclair failed tonight. And especially Charlie Dempsey, you can see the disappointment on No Quarter Catch Crew. A-Town Down Under was on NXT tonight for a special Grayson Waller effect. And of course their guests would be Nathan Frazier and Axiom. I have to admit though, during this, I actually did laugh because you see a cameraman jumped up onto like the side of the ring and obviously the hard cam called him. My first thought was, oh my God, who is that? Who's running? And I genuinely thought it was someone making a run-in because I'm so used to watching wrestling. Good little segment though, obviously build into the NXT tag title match in 2 weeks' time. Things would get a little bit tense between the teams as you'd expect. And Nathan Frazier would say, why is this called the Grayson Waller effect? Shouldn't it be the Grayson Waller and Austin Theory effect? It's a good question, and one that actually seemed to bother Austin Theory as we see A-Town Down Under continue to potentially implode. It's worth noting that Grayson Waller threw the cheap shot, obviously to, distract the fact that Theory was upset, But with A-Town Down Under standing tall tonight, holding up the tag team belts, do you think this is the visual in 2 weeks? Do you think they've got a chance of winning the tag belts? I genuinely love this so much. A huge win tonight for Hank and Tank as they defeat the OC. Gallows and Anderson, unsuccessful. Great tag teams work here between Hank and Tank. Lots of unique stuff, I like that. I know this isn't for everyone, I completely understand it. But do you know what? I find these two so captivating. Genuinely, when they're on TV, it's like energy. And I think sometimes you can be the best wrestler in the world and you can lack so much charisma. My God, these two men ooze charisma. And it's fun. I love it. Are we seeing now a different side of Lexus King? Potentially a babyface turn? Earlier on tonight, he approached Wwe Nxt backstage. In the end, shaking his hand, he was very nice to him. Very uncharacteristic of Lexus King. Later on during their match, Lexus King was using the rope and he had the match won, but he gave up the pinfall and said, I'm not going to win like that. Wwe Nxt would then do the exact same thing and pick up the win, leaving a very shocked Lexus King. What is he going to do from here? I can't see it being anything but a babyface turn unless he now goes on a spiral of realising that being the nice guy doesn't get him anywhere. Potentially. As we prepare for the NXT North American title match in 2 weeks' time, Tony D'Angelo tonight was preparing for it in a very unique workout designed by the family. The Don lost his confidence. He's gaining it back. And do you know what? I really desperately need someone. I'm sure it's going to be on social media later. But if you've got the ability, take that video clip. You need to mute it and you need to put Eye of the Tiger all over it. Because this is nothing more than a Rocky storyline. And I love it, honestly. I think it was great last week. I think it was good this week. Pretty cool. And we found out these two will sign their contract for the match next week on NXT on Miz TV. Ridge Holland would pick up the win tonight against Riley Osborne. It was a very short match, but there was a reason for it, of course. After the match, the beatdown that is now tradition with Ridge Holland and Chase U. Ridge Holland grabbing another piece of barricade, obviously, that was destroyed during their match. I like how they loop these things together. But Riley Osborne, no pushover at all. Unlike other members of Chase U, he was able to combat Ridge Holland tonight. And obviously security getting there before it even got worse. A-Town Down Under picked up the huge win tonight in the main event of NXT. I thought Austin Theory, though, was going to steal Vic Joseph's candy. That would have been the biggest heel move in history had that happened. They defeated Javon Evans and Cedric Alexander, but it wasn't clean. Fraxiom would try to get involved in the match and inadvertently cause Javon Evans to fall off the top rope. And obviously that would bring problems for Fraxiom. You know, the WWE storyline. Can they coexist? Amazing ending to NXT. It really did feel like a typical old school WWE go-home show tonight. For me, 7 out of 10. Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, like the video, share the video, and I'll see you tomorrow for news you might have missed. Peace!